Hello, it's good to see you. That sounds strange. I obviously can't actually see you, but when I make, like face videos, I feel more like I'm having a conversation with you. So, it's been a while, and so it's nice to see you. Today is so simple. I'm just gonna be brushing my hair, and I will also let you kind of hear the bristles and the textures of each hairbrush or comb. And I'll tell you sort of what they're best used for, stuff like that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brushes to show you, or actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 brushes and a comb, which is a little different. But I'll tell you how I got this idea while I play with this comb a little. I was at a concert last night, and that concert is for a band called Slow Dive. And Slow Dive has been around, they were around since the early 90s when I was just a teeny tiny tot. Like a tater tot. And anyway, most of their stuff would be considered shoegaze, and I had a really good time. But in the bathroom, the powder room, I always call it the powder room, I ran into a woman who was preening. She was really rapidly preening with gusto. Preening with gusto. And she was brushing her hair. She kept checking her teeth, like smiling, like she was, she told me she was worried there might be food in it. So, I don't know about you, but people come up and sort of just talk to me all the time. It's always happened. I think maybe because I tend to smile most of the time, almost always, and but people talk to me a lot, strangers, and I like it most of the time. I like it. So anyway, so she started talking to me in the powder room when I was washing my hands at this concert. She's probably about my mom's age, and she had a lot of very glamorous makeup, and anyway, she was just telling me a little bit about her life. I don't know, it was fun. I mean, just totally just kind of started talking to me about herself. It was interesting, and anyway, so but she was like brushing her hair, touching up her lips, so I found that very relaxing. So I thought I'd do the same for you. And so I can start by showing you this comb. I don't use combs very much. If you have not very long hair, I think men use combs a lot too. Combs can be good. They're obviously good for precision. This one also has this apparatus, which has a variety of uses as well. But mostly I use the comb for defining my part. And some days I want my part to be really defined, and some days doesn't make a lot of sense to like, I'm just gonna put it in, to comb with the comb, especially when it's not wide tooth. A nice wide tooth comb will can really help detangle, but a comb like this, more traditional comb, it can actually have the opposite effect, because if you have rough hair or if you have tangles, as soon as you get to one, I don't think I have any right now, but as soon as you get to a tangle, this comb is gonna put pressure on it and make it knot up even more. So yeah, combs are for me for precision, defining parts, things like that. But they can have their place, especially right along the scalp. So, but I just figured I'd show you this comb. It's such a funny color, isn't it? And you can use these little, I don't know what you call them. They're not teeth. We would call these teeth, right? The teeth of the comb. Chomp, chomp, chomp. These are teeth. So yeah, we would call these the teeth. But we would call these, I'm not sure. One of you will tell me, though. One of you will know what these are called. Maybe fingers, you know? But these can be useful for adding volume. So if you wanted to kind of like tease up, it can give you a little bit of a lift. And you can do that up at the scalp level. If you have a problem with volume, if you want, you can use this to kind of help sweep through the hair without pulling too much like the teeth do. So anyway, but I want to get on to the other brushes because I can use those in my hair right now and really show you kind of what it's all about. I do like the sounds though of the comb. I think it can be quite, oops, sorry about that. I think it can be quite calming. Just a little, like click, click, click. Sounds like a cat purring, or like hooves on the ground. I like the sound of hooves, like horses. Hooves. Kind of sounds like a trot or a canter. Or a tolt. There's Icelandic horses have a special gait called the tolt. I think that's right, the tolt. Maybe it sounds like a tolt. I like that word, tolt. I've actually been on an Icelandic horse doing a tolt. It's exciting. Okay, but we're talking about brushes, not horses. Okay, so anyway, so that's just the comb. This one has some interesting texture, if you look, to help prevent hair from getting stuck in it, which is so nice because nobody likes a comb that gets all, full of hair. So it has these little extra, again, it's kind of like teeth. Teeth on teeth. The teeth have teeth. But it's a little bit extra texture. which is nice. I really do this. Sometimes people ask if, I like sit around like tapping on things in real life. I do. I actually, anything I have that has texture, that can make a noise, my whole life I've been compelled to sort of, tap on it, file it, whatever. So I would just be doing this anyway. I like to sit and listen to the sound of things. It's funny. And even though Slow Dive is kind of a slowcore band, the concert was actually quite loud, so it's nice then to do something quiet. Anyway, you can tell me if you like going to live music. I love going to shows. Okay, I think that's enough of the comb. I keep saying that and I keep playing with it. Really, I'm just liking it. Whoosh, whoosh. It's like click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. And it has a really different quality. When I go down, it sounds like this. Kind of deeper. And then when I go up, it's kind of like a light. Okay, anyway, so that's one. You can also hear it starting to rain. Well, it never stopped, but and I hope you don't mind that I leave in the rain in my videos, because I love the rain. I feel very energized by it. And this is the next brush I will be showing you. This is sort of a more rare brush, so I'll tell you about it in a second after I ramble. But yeah, I love the rain, and I feel like it makes me stronger, and a lot of people get seasonal affective disorder where they feel very low energy and sometimes depressed, or hopeless or irritable when the sun goes away. But as I was raised in the Pacific Northwest, I don't have a real need to photosynthesize. I just, I feel protected by the rain, by the dark, by the shadows, by the wind. The winter and the fall, it always feels like the elements are wrapped around me. And maybe you feel this, that they wrap around you. You can feel it. The rain falls all over you, and sort of becomes a part of you. And the wind, gusts and gusts and gusts. It gusts around you. Some people describe feeling that way about the sun. The sun, they feel it merging with their skin, and they feel warm and loved, and I can totally understand that too. But I think it's the same for me, with what people might consider bad weather. I don't think it is. So, okay. So this is an open loop brush, and I'll start combing my hair with this one. You may never have seen this brush, and I apologize for, there's some little loose hairs. It's a brush, so, I try to keep them clean, but there's always going to be little hairs. And anyhow, so, the open loop brush, if you can see, actually does have loops. You can kind of see loops. And each loop makes up what would usually just be like a bristle. And so the reason for these brushes is if you have tangles, if you have a really textured hair where, like I said before, something can get caught, the open loop brush can be quite good for you, and it can be good for extensions, for hair pieces. If you like to play around with your hair like I do, I like to change it up so much, so the open loop brush is a really good, it's a good thing to have in your toolkit. You probably won't find it at normal drugstores, which, like I said, drugstores, I think are called chemists in other part of the world. I made a video about drugstores once and people said, like, where are the drugs? I don't know. So anyway, so this one I actually ordered from Amazon probably, but I think you can get them at beauty supply stores. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how this one works. The open loop, it may not tackle tangles very well. It's going to give you a real, it's going to just, it will brush out your hair, but maybe not as sort of closely and as defined as you'd like it to. So I'll show you. So the only negative side of the open loop brush is that it won't really separate fine layers. It's more something you go in with when you want to get tangles out or work around little knots and things. So sometimes I'll start with the open loop and then I'll go in with a different brush, like bristles. So this just has these plastic loops, just made out of plastic, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate now on my hair. So I'm going to take the brush and just going to take a little hair, and I really want to show you how it comes through there. So you see that the loops remain, so that if there's anything they could possibly get caught on, they'll just brush right through it instead of adding any kind of pressure or any kind of knotting. It just feels good. One of my favorite feelings is having somebody else brush my hair. I love it. So you can see I can take really big pieces here. This is like, this is almost half my hair, and it's just working right through. I like to go, you'll see I'm brushing the underside, which I really like to do. A lot of people only brush the top like this, which is good. You need to do that. But brushing underneath, it helps to better distribute oils. So it makes your hair look much lighter, much finer, much softer, much shinier, much more healthy, much more vibrant. And I can also, brush all the way. I can brush from the top all the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom. So that's the open loop. And sometimes the open loop by itself is enough. And sometimes, like I said, I'll use it and then I use it to sort of go in for broad strokes. As you can see, I was sort of using it to brush very big sections of hair at a time. And so I use it also, like if I get out of the shower and I need to brush. So, yeah. This is a very special brush. So, anyhow, okay. Now I'll show you some of my other favorites. Let's see. Put that down there. I have little buttons on my shirt, and they kind of clack on the table. So, okay. So, this is another very basic brush, and it came in a pack with the comb I showed earlier. So it's got this lime green, which, to be honest, is not my favorite color, but I don't really care. It's a brush, it's a comb. So this is more like a paddle brush. A true paddle brush is, flat and usually square, I think. So I don't know the exact names of every one of these brushes, so I'm sorry about that. I'm not an expert. Now this brush is in some ways the opposite of the last brush I showed you of the open loop. This one has hard beads, which you can see. So it has hard beads at the end of each little plastic bristle. And those hard beads are there to really pull and separate your hair. And so they can be very good for a lot of hair types. But again, if you have really textured, curly hair, really tangly prone hair, wavy hair, really thick hair, or hair that is over-treated or over-processed, you want to stay away from the really hard dip. At least that's my experience of it, because these beads at the end here they do a good job, but if you have tangles, they can pull your hair. They can pull your hair, and especially if your hair is over treated or if your hair is falling out for any reason, and there could be a lot. Some people, start to lose hair density as they get older. Some people actually start to lose hair from stress. Some people can start to lose hair from extreme malnourishment. So there's all kinds of reasons. But if you are prone to losing hair, you may want to avoid it. But for everyone else, this is a really good basic. I don't know if you can see, but the cushion of the comb, you can see the cushion. I can kind of press down on it, makes that bunny rabbit noise. Squish, squish, squish. It's like a squeaky mousey. Squish, 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 squish. Isn't it funny? Squish, 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 squish. Okay, anyway. But that's the cushion underneath. And on this one, that cushion is just barely rounded, so that when you use it, especially with heat, if you use it with a blow dryer, it will shape your hair just the tiniest bit, so that your hair kind of rounds out at the ends, which most people want. But this one, again, the cushion is really not that contoured. It's just a little bit more contour in the cushion than a paddle brush, but not a whole lot. I don't think anyone wants the 1992 newscaster hair where it's like perfectly rounded under. We don't want that, do we? No. So, I'm going to show you this on my hair. And again, you're able to hear the quality of the bristles. These ones are very firm. You'll see they resist a lot of pulling around, which is good. It can be very good depending on your hair type. So this one I'll show you my hair. And as I comb with this one, I'll tell you a little bit about my new color, which is hiding. There we are. I think. Oh, there. You can see there is a little bit of pink. There's a little pink hiding underneath. And you can also see the pink on the other side. And again, it's sort of blended. So I have the ability to make it look very pronounced, the pink, or to really blend it. So here, it's going to look quite blended and almost like it's just a hue of my hair color. But depending on how I style it, depending on how it moves, it can also look very pronounced, as you'll see. So you can really start to see there's actually some nice pink. And I just did that. I just had it done, I should say, yesterday. I used to do my own hair color all the time. I did. It wasn't a good idea. All through my early 20s, I did my own hair color. I had everything from black to purple to pink to like white blonde. And it was fun. It was really fun, and most of the time I figured out how to really successfully do my own color. But for every time it goes right, there's a chance it could go wrong. So, yeah. But if you want to put in a little bit of color, I think a fun, wearable way to do it is to just blend it in a little like this. Because then it's kind of, well, they call them peekaboo highlights. So I can have my hair back, and if you see, it actually doesn't even look like it's really there. But then I bring it up. Then you can really start to see it right there. So it's fun. It's like a little secret. It's like a little wink, and I think it's a fun but wearable, wearable way to have a little bit of creative color, which I love. You may have, an office job, or you may have certain restrictions from your job or whatever else in life that makes it so you can't have, wild hair color. So this, again, to me is a way it's kind of a more neutral, kind of a more natural way. So I'm enjoying it, and I'm thankful that the wonderful woman who put the pink in for me really understood what I meant. I said, basically, I want the pink to look kind of natural, which seems like an oxymoron, but anyway, I think she did a good job, and I'm happy. So, okay, so another brush. I think so. Before I do though, another thing I love is when women preen. It's my theme today, right? Preening. So I love when they preen and they put on lipstick or lip gloss or whatever. So I'm gonna just touch up my lip color. This is just Pixie, and this is just a balm, and it just has a little bit of color in it, just a hint. Most of the time in my videos, you'll notice I don't usually wear very dark lip color, because I don't know, it's just my preference. So this one, you can see it's pretty, somewhat natural looking pink. It has a little mauve in it, but it is really quite sheer. So I can, I can touch it up without really even looking. like this. I'll do it with my eyes closed. And it's pretty easy because it's so sheer. It's very hard to mess up. You must always blot. Mostly because it looks funny, like a fish. So, I blot, but there's one more step when I'm touching up lip color and I can't see. I take my pinky and I put it right in my filter like that, and I pull it down just a little and then go again. Like you're kind of blowing kisses. Okay, that's not how. That's the opposite of a kiss. But anyway, so you blot like a fishy. And again, then I just make sure that my pinky is clean, and I just pull down so that my Cupid's bow is still defined without there being any runoff. So, I don't know, that's just what I do. Everyone has their own little makeup habits. So, anyway, so that's how I refresh my lipstick. Well, I almost never wear lipstick. My gloss or my balm or whatever. I usually refresh, before I go in places or when I'm walking, because it also helps moisturize. So it's just a habit. Okay, so this brush is super mega cool because it has a clip. It has a clip that fits right into the handle, which I think is awesome. And it just goes jump. I always think of clips as jumping down. So wherever you are using your brush, you always have a clip handy, which is so useful. I cannot tell you how useful it is to have a clip. And it's really good for this kind of brush because this is a round brush, and this is the best kind of brush for a blowout. When you're blowing your hair and you're drying it, you really want to give it volume. You want to give it a boost. Everybody's hair needs a boost sometimes, so you can boost your hair with a round brush. Now the diameter of the brush is going to depend on what kind of hair you have and mostly how long it is. I'll show you actually as contrast. I'll show you first the smaller one. So this is a smaller round brush, and I'm sorry, it's missing its cap. I've had this brush since college, so it's kind of old, like me. Anyway, but it's missing its cap, so it's kind of like it's missing its hat. Anyway, this is actually a really good one. The bristles are very, very stiff, and this is what we call a natural bristle. And these bristles, again, they help to bring a little bit of shine to your hair. And then you'll see that this one is much, much smaller than the first round brush, which I will get back to. This round brush is great for people with shorter or medium length hair, and I'll show you why. So as you're blowing out your hair, you will be using this to gently turn, you go and contour the ends of your hair so that the ends just slightly bend in. Or if you have framing like I do, you can kind of see here how you can take a piece and then you bend and roll and kind of keep rolling and rolling like that terrible song. And then it gives it this nice curvature, you know, it's kind of rounded to your face. However, if you have long hair, mine's pretty long right now. It's definitely past that 18-inch mark. This is going to maybe be too small because you have enough hair, if you have long hair, that you want it to kind of be curving as you go around and around, right? So this brush might coil a little too tight, and so it might not be as productive for you. Another contrast between this brush and the other bristle brush that I'll show you is that the other bristle brush has a mix of natural bristles and those beaded tip bristles that I showed you before. So, and that can be helpful depending. But again, this is also, even though it's a round brush, it works pretty well for stimulating hair right kind of at the scalp line. I don't want to mess up my part too much. And in the back, right at the scalp line. And it can be really good. You want to really be able to stimulate hair at the root level as well as toward the ends, and especially stimulate the scalp area because, again, it helps with the distribution of oil. So we can go deep underneath and pull all the way out. And yeah, the more you take down from the top, it helps to distribute the oils again, which help with, especially the scalp, if you have problems with like flyaways at the top of your head, especially at the part. If you get a lot of frizziness, it's really good to brush right from the scalp, because the scalp is where a lot of the oil collects, which sounds a little gross, but those oils are really good for your hair. So if you brush from, oops, I don't want to mess up my part, but if you brush from the scalp and then all the way down to keep your hair sort of hydrated so that you don't have all those flyaways at the top, which nobody likes. And you can do that with finer bristles, and it doesn't have to be a round brush. In fact, for stimulating your scalp, it's probably better to use a flat brush if possible. Here, sorry, I'm using the monitor as a mirror, which is like the weirdest thing. I obviously can't seem to master doing things backward, but anyway. So you could use a flat brush, but the bristles are important. They stimulate your scalp to help distribute those oils, to help tame flyaways, to help hydrate, and also to build a little bit of body in your hair, you know, so that it's not just flat, because those oils will give you a little bit of volume as well, and a little bit of shine. It's nice. So anyway, so that's the smaller bristle round brush, which is a great go-to for anyone's collection. But the last brush I'll show you is the one I already started to show you with the clip. So you'll notice immediately that unlike the other round brush, this one has a mix of the natural bristles and the beaded plastic bristles. So it's sort of a best of both worlds brush. This brush does a really good job of volumizing and adding shine, and it doesn't create tangles. It's good at taming them. So I apologize for the funny light. I think my computer just keeps adjusting itself. So, and this brush has pretty wide vents. If you can see, like there. Let's see how many. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's perfect. So there's 10 vents. You'll see the little vents. And that's a really good sign, because as you use heat, if you're blow drying your hair, that heat can sort of distribute, which makes the curling power of the brush that much more powerful. So it's very effective, and this is for my hair about the right size. I think it's about 2 inches, and so it's a big barrel. Not a jumbo barrel, but a big barrel, and so you can see it's quite big. And so I like to use this one to give my hair a little bit of curl, but still make it straight. In order to do that, when you are using a heat source, a hair dryer, the best way to do that is to attach the concentrator. The concentrator is that little nozzle that comes with most drying hair dryers today. And I'm gonna move this brush here, actually. Too many brushes. It's a brush bonanza. So anyway, yeah, you can take your concentrator and what you'll do is you'll have your hair dryer in one hand, and you want to really aim downward with your hair dryer with the concentrator on. Always aim downward so that the air is going down, and helping to curl just a little like this. And you can kind of spin as you go. My hair is long enough that I have to pull back to show you, but and that will help you really define a curl as you're drying. But I'm not drying right now. I'm just brushing. something. And really, once your hair is all dry and kind of set the way you want, once it's set, you can kind of brush however you want. I just brush enough so that it feels soft. I really like my hair to just feel really soft. If your hair feels good in your head, then you're gonna feel confident. So it can be also very calming to just brush. And again, I try to pay attention to the shape. I always try to spin a little, just so that the ends look nice and just barely curved in. I find brushing my hair is a really good way to calm down. You may find that too. And if you're like me, you probably love when someone else brushes your hair for you. So don't be afraid to ask. I say that, but I don't ask people. I always feel like it's imposing, to ask for things like that. But I love just having someone else brush my hair. But there's something as you brush and brush and brush, it almost starts to sound like waves. They just listen, like brush, 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 brush. On this side, brush. And it sounds sort of like meditative. And again, sometimes I'll get into the bang area. We call them bangs. Bangs, we call them in America, but a lot of the world calls it fringe. Fringe. And I've had fringe most of my life. Like I said, I grew up being really self-conscious, and so I had really what we call blunt bangs or fringe right here that would go straight across, right all the way up to my eyes, sometimes over my eyes a little, because I felt like I could hide behind them a little, And some people look so awesome with bangs. But at one point I just decided I'm gonna try growing them out. Gonna try being brave. But you can see they're still growing out. They're probably down to about here, like right across my nose. Right across my nose. Something like that. No, but taken a long time. Some days I think I'm just gonna cut them back, but I don't think I will for a long time because once you cut them, it takes a long time to grow them out. And I kind of like just having the hair, you know, go around. You can kind of do more with it. So anyway, I hope that this hasn't been too boring for you. I'm so sorry about this light. It is sort of crazy. I think it's, I'm gonna click. So that's a little better. I like to make the light a little bit darker as the video goes on, so that if you need to prepare for sleep or relaxation, it'll be nicely dark. So I still have so much to learn, don't I? We all do. You can really see sometimes the pink starts to look quite bright, starts to look almost magenta. And then it sort of fades and looks like cotton candy, which is really what I like. I always love colors like pastels, so the colors of cotton candy are like my faves. Like the powder blue and then that cotton candy pink. I was a really big tomboy growing up, so I hated pink. I thought pink was the end of the world. I hated it so much. I mean, I didn't hate it. Hate is a strong word, but I sort of detested it. But now I think it can be fun. In moderation. So, anyway. It's like there's little flamingos hiding in there. Like little flamingo feathers. Maybe you've tried some creative color with your hair before. I hope so. I think if it's even if it's just one time, I think creative color is sort of a rite of passage. And even though I think I don't think I'll be running around with like crazy jewel tone hair anytime soon, like I did when I was young, but I like to find practical ways to feel a little fantastical, because it's important to still find ways to feel playful, do things that bring you just a little bit of joy. So my little pink streaks are just a little bit of joy. I also have some hair chalk, and hair chalk is just what it sounds like. It's chalk that you can apply to your hair for a really, really, really temporary color. So this pink is permanent on my hair, so I'll have it for a while, though it can fade. But if you use hair chalk, you can have color for, a day, 2 days. So maybe if you are interested, I can give you a hair chalk tutorial sometime. Especially because I just like the word chalk. Chalk, 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 hair chalk. Okay. Hopefully my hair is brushed enough now. And thank you for helping. There we go. And I always love to hear, like ideas other people have for hair. So I love to hear your hair ideas and suggestions. Okay. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And thanks for being you. Be good to yourselves. Do good work. Be proud.